Marc Raimondi for ESPN, joined today by this man needs no introduction. It's the BMF, the highlight, Justin Gaethje, who is still jet lagged from his trip to Abu Dhabi for UFC 294. Justin, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, I've been traveling a lot. I went Australia, Vegas, home one weekend, and then Abu Dhabi. So, and I'm leaving tomorrow for my hunt in Arizona. So I've been on the move.
All right, busy guy, busy guy.
Yeah, I need to slow it down.
I gotta ask you, of course. Number one question is, you were in the building, 294, Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. Pretty impressive win for
Yeah, it
Islam in that
was.
fight. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it was definitely impressive. I think I knew he was going to win, especially on 8 days' notice. He's a guy that's impossible to fight. On that sort of notice, especially whenever you haven't been in a camp specifically training for a hard, cardiovascular heavy fight, training every day, getting your legs ready for something like that. So I thought it would go longer. I thought it would be a little bit, kind of a stalemate in the first round, and I thought Makhachev would kind of take over after that. But yeah, man, he's super confident in what he's got going right now. So I think that makes him extra dangerous. I think he's out here copying my moves. He's obviously watching me, so yeah, it's good, man. I'm excited to fight him. Before the fight, he said he wasn't Khabib, but I guess I'm just gonna have to find out because I'm not sure.
He's a guy that is known for his wrestling, his grappling. It's that's his number one attribute, right? And then he goes out there and he knocks out Volkanovski with a head kick. A surprise to you?
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, I was so focused on Kamaru that I didn't actually watch the fight. I was in the back, had front row tickets, could have watched it, but after Kamaru's fight, I went to the back, was hanging out with him, making sure he was good. But yeah, I mean, I definitely saw the highlights. After the fight, he said something like, "I better be working hard." But yeah, I'm excited to fight this guy. I've known him for a long time, and I've got nothing but respect for him and his team. Everything they've done. But I think I'm a good matchup. I think I'm gonna put some hands on him. I think Khabib obviously knows that I'm gonna fight. He's gonna be. I guarantee when I step in there, he's gonna be absolutely wrecked when it comes to being nervous because he knows that I'm willing to go to deep and dark places and really much give everything to try to get the win and create damage. So I'm excited to do it.
Volkanovski, he was kind of emotional in the post-fight press conference. I'm not sure if you saw that, but do you think he made a mistake maybe by taking the fight on such short notice?
I mean, you got to risk stuff to write different stories. I mean, imagine if he would have been successful, the story that he would have written. So, without risk, it doesn't come reward. And I think it was, for him, obviously, it was worth the risk. Again, it's his belt's not on the line. He doesn't have as much to lose as any other champions per se in a championship fight. So, again, I think he dared greatly and then failed, and I think it is what it is.
He talked in that post-fight news conference about kind of his like mental health and wanting to stay active and just feeling more like normal, I guess, when he has a goal, when he has an opponent, when he's in training camp. Can you relate to that at all?
Yeah, every stage of your career is you're at such a different point. When you're young, you fight and then you go on these crazy binges of food and soda and you just make these terrible choices. And the older we get, the less our body allows us to do that. So, you're not necessarily getting to take that big break and really relax your mind. And it's really up to you. Nobody's going to hold you accountable and nobody's going to make sure that you're not doing those things other than you. And every time you do that, you have to look yourself in the mirror and understand that you're making a mistake and that the hill that you're going to have to climb is a little bit steeper now. So I think that's probably what he's alluding to. Outside of personal issues, I don't know, but I love what I do. I've never had any mental health issues other than wanting to fight.
You speaking of wanting to fight, you got the call. At least your manager Ali Abdelaziz got the call when Oliveira pulled out about
Yep.
11, 12 days out. Was it hard?
Yeah.
Not I know that you were way overweight. Was that difficult to say no?
Yeah. The fact that it was in Abu Dhabi made it, much easier to say no to. If it was in America, in a time zone that I was more comfortable with, that I wouldn't have to adjust to so much. If I didn't have such a bad experience there last time, then maybe I think about it, but it was an immediate no. I know that I'm gonna fight for the championship. If they want to put Oliveira in there, then I'll wait. Um, I'm at this point in my career. I've done what I had to do, and I have to fight this fight. And if they would have told me on August 1st that I needed to be in Abu Dhabi to fight Islam Makhachev, I would have been there. But they gave the opportunity to Charles Oliveira. He told them that he was going to let them down, and he let them down. So hopefully they don't make that mistake again.
So now what would be like the timetable? Because it still seems like, according to what Dana White said, that Oliveira they consider the next guy, right? Number one contender. So what does that mean for you? Does that mean, I know you said you would want to wait, and I know Islam is kind of
Yeah,
his
I know. I mean, the good thing about Islam is we
yeah.
kind of know his timeline. I'm sure he's going to shoot the
Right.
fight before Ramadan. That puts him in February or March.
Right.
If
And I'll fight in
like I said,
September, next September,
if they
probably.
want to fight, yeah, if they want to put Oliveira there, then I fight him in September
Right.
or
Or October.
whatever, whatever that is. Yeah.
So you'll wait. You won't fight again.
Who do I fight?
I mean,
There's no one. I did what I had to do. No, I mean, I went back. I fought number 7, fought number 2. I don't know what else you guys. I don't know what else I need to do.
yeah,
I'll
no,
definitely wait. I have no issues waiting. Again, as I got older, I get to understand that, um, you know, from now until the time I fight him, I'm going to be building strength. I'm going to be working on my cardio. I'm going to be refining my skills. And so I'll take as much time as they give me, and I'll be that much more ready.
you asked the question, who would you fight? There is one name that maybe would sway you, Conor McGregor. Is that
He's fighting Chandler?
I mean, yeah, but it's not official, right? I mean, you know how things can happen. It's a crazy sport.
Until my phone rings, then I don't care about that at all. If my phone rings and they want to talk about it, then I'll talk about it. But outside that, I have no interest.
So it's title or bust unless the McGregor payday comes along, basically.
If they call me, then sure. If they call my manager, then I'll have a conversation. I don't know what I would do, but it's not an option. It's not an option.
In Salt Lake City, I was there. You were there at the post-fight press conference, and he was tweeting up a storm about you after you beat Poirier, and that kind of seems to taper off.
As it always does, as it will every time. I'm sure he said something after I knocked out Cowboy, and then he fought him. So I don't entertain this conversation outside. My phone rings and they want to talk numbers. So
no one ever contacted you about that.
That has never happened.
Got it. You mentioned your good friend Kamaru Usman, who I thought had a great performance, on short notice against a really tough guy in Khamzat Chimaev. What did you think of his performance, and what was his kind of demeanor after the fight?
Yeah, I mean, I was proud of him, to go in there and, for what, again, dare greatly risk, the story that could have been, and almost was, he had it. He was, I don't think he lost the fight. I think he won the second and third round. I don't think number 1 was 10-8. I think that's 29-28. But that's irrelevant, honestly, because I think he's, obviously being a competitor, you're upset. I think he, didn't believe in this in his cardiovascular abilities, which is going to be almost impossible to do. But yeah, I think with the full camp, I think you have that fight 10 times. I think you have the same first round 10 times, and an in-shape Kamaru pressures him and finishes him in the second round. And I think that would have been the case that night if we weren't in the situation that we were in. But I was proud of him.
You think he stays at 185 or he goes back down?
I think he should. I think he looks good there. I think he was strong there. I mean, Hamzat's a big guy, long, lanky. I think he's good there. I think there's some great fights for him there, honestly. I think Hamzat's gonna fight for the belt. I think he fights Duplessis, or on the same card and someone falls out, he's the replacement, 100%.
Yeah, so even like Robert Whitaker was talking about maybe fighting Usman. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fight. I just don't think it does what we needed to do.
Yeah.
In the right amount of time.
No,
I don't
that
want to see Kamaru stick around for too long. I think he's done everything he needs to do. I think everything that's left is for him, and I'm 100% going to support him. But I want to see the fastest route.
he's definitely a big guy for 170, but there was that video, and I'm not sure if you saw it or if you were even like in that
Yeah,
in
he
the
looked the same.
area with but and he was like he greeted Islam, and Islam almost looked bigger than Kamaru, and I don't know if that was like where the camera was or, but I mean Islam's just like a pretty big dude.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's not small. But yeah, the camera can play tricks on you. There's no context in pictures or videos.
That's true, especially now, right? With like Chat GPT, whatever the hell it's called,
No,
AI.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
every time someone sees me in real life, they can't believe I'm not bigger because we look
right.
larger than life on television. There's no context to size, with for your eyes, so it's gonna get you every time.
You won the BMF title back over the summer against Poirier. Where is that belt right now, by the way? Where are you keeping it?
Oh, it's literally just sitting. Oh, turn my camera around. Oh, it's right there.
You're gonna say, all right. It's just chilling on the sofa,
Yeah,
like
it
watching
was on the
sitcoms.
table. It just hasn't moved. I brought it home and set it down. Pretty much, it was on the. It's been on the table, and then it just pretty much hangs out right there. I'm not sure where it's gonna go.
Yeah, because that's what I wanted to ask you. So like when Masvidal had the title, that was it. It was kind of a one-off, right? You think there's any chance that you might like defend it? Because I mean, I'm personally, I kind of like the BMF title. I think it
Yeah,
has, I think it
no,
has merit, and you're a guy that is perfect for it because you're all action, and there's got to be other
yeah,
opponents that people would want to see you fight. Maybe it's not a title fight for the big title. I know you're going for that, but BMF I think
yeah,
still has value in a way.
yeah. I wish I remembered the school better so I could tell you how a story works. But again, the climax is the belt, a world championship fight, and then the possibilities are endless for the conclusion. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do think there's some. Again, I built something. The UFC has invested in me, and I think we're both going to want to cash in as much as we can.
100%. I was actually talking to Masvidal a few weeks after that fight, and obviously he was there, and Poirier is his guy. And I asked Masvidal what he thinks that you should do with the title, and he said fight him. And I'm not sure if he was half kidding or what, but is that something that
You
you
know
could
he was
potentially
kidding. Come
entertain?
on, you know that he was kidding. Hey, he's retired. I have no reason to. I um, he wasn't on my team when he was obviously fighting. Now he's retired, so he's not on nobody's team. So I don't have to fight that dude. I don't have to fight anything about him.
If
If he
you were to
wants, yeah,
do,
sure. Again, if my phone rings, I'll have a conversation.
if you were to defend the BMF title, who would be a worthy opponent? Do you think for that type of fight?
I already beat up Chandler, so he's not there. Well, that would be one. I would say Holloway, but I don't ever want to fight Holloway. So
Why not?
I don't know. I just don't ever want to. I don't want to punch him.
Just too nice of a guy, or?
Nah, I just don't. It's not necessary.
He's kind of at a crossroads a little bit, right? Because he can't get a title shot. Probably, maybe he can. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think we're gonna again. If Volkanovski comes back, if Volkanovski loses, he's right there. He gets the next shot. So
That's true.
you never know.
I need to know why you don't want to punch Max. I mean, he's a good
I
looking guy.
like him
Maybe
too
you don't want
much.
to.
I like him. He's a good dude. I don't know him personally, but I'm a fan of his.
Yeah.
I don't prefer to punch him. Um, but if I had to, I would. I guess. You know?
Just
I
last
have.
couple. Yeah.
I expect no mercy in there, and I give none. So yeah, whoever fights me, it is what it is. But I don't prefer it.
Is there anyone that you fought that you really didn't want to fight, like on that level, because of what you just said?
Yeah, I would say Cowboy. Cowboy was a guy I knew when I was way super young, just in college before I was ever fighting. He was a guy I was around. I helped him not helped him, but I was a training wrestling partner with him for one of his camps when he fought Melvin. So yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah, because he's a guy that trained with Trevor, right? Quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah, there's plenty of connections. to everything around me.
Makes sense. Just a couple more for you, Justin. Thank you, man. Just got to ask you quick about there's a big fight this week on boxing, Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury. What do you think of that one? How do you see it going?
Yeah, I mean, oh shit, how do I see it going? Who knows? I mean, I'm sure Tyson. I mean, I'm sure. I don't think it'll be as dominant as if Tyson fought an MMA fight against Francis. I'll say that. But yeah, I think it's gonna be really exciting for at least 4 rounds, 5 rounds.
You think he can shock the world?
I mean, of course, anytime you're freaking throwing hands with someone as big and as dangerous as that dude, something can happen. So we'll see. Different sport. See how it goes.
I feel like MMA could use a win in one of these, right? I mean, it's almost not fair.
That's like saying boxing needs a win in MMA. It's not gonna happen. It's not supposed to happen. Can it? Of course, but it's not supposed to happen.
It's just that it just seems like MMA fighters go over there more than vice versa.
Why the hell would they do that? Less money, more pain, more embarrassment, plenty of less chances. Absolutely not. That would be stupid of them.
So you don't see a world where boxers are going to start fighting MMA.
I don't see a world where a boxer will ever put the MMA fighter in a real fight. So why would they?
You think Jake Paul will actually fight for PFL?
Don't know. Don't care.